This week on What in the World is Going On, top Fatah officials talks of Zionist territorial designs from Nile to Euphrates. We got a lot to talk about, friends, so stay tuned. We, the Friends of Israel, reported that on September 21st of this year. And in the article, we quoted a senior Palestinian official saying that the Palestinian people protect Arab nations from the, quote, Zionist territorial designs from the Nile to the Euphrates. Of course, the Palestinians have been against the UAE and Bahrain peace deals, and speaking in criticism of the deals, Fatah Central Committee member Azam al-Hamad told Qatar's Al Arabi TV, quote, he says, "We hope that the people of the UAE and Bahrain will restrain their leaders and make them reconsider what they have signed. Do not destroy yourselves and the future of the entire nation." He went on to say, "We, the Palestinians, are defending all of you. We are defending Mecca, Baghdad, Cairo, Amman, and Damascus. This is our destiny as Palestinians." This is our destiny as Palestinians. Of course, we have to realize, friends, that when the Palestinians talk peace, that means without Israel. That means no Israel. And in their minds, the Jewish people have no right whatsoever to any of the land. That's exactly the message that was given a couple of years ago at a local university here where I live, where the invited guest speaker painted Israel as a brutal oppressor and occupier of stolen Palestinian land. But is that the case? Is that what history teaches us? Well, of course not. Friends, there never was a long-lost land called Palestine that had its own unique people and culture and government, its own capital. No. The name Palestine came into being when the Roman Emperor Hadrian in 135 AD, angrily against the Jewish people, renamed the land of Israel Provincia Syria Palestina, after Israel's chief enemies, the Philistines. After that, everyone living there was known as Palestinians, the Jewish people included. There was the Palestine Post. It was a Jewish newspaper, now called the Jerusalem Post. And then there was the Palestinian Symphony Orchestra. It was made up of Jewish musicians, now called the Philharmonic Orchestra. And then there was the Palestinian Brigade. It was a World War Fighting II brigade alongside the British, made up of Jewish soldiers. And so the Jewish people were known as Palestinians. In fact, friends, the Arabs never wanted to be called Palestinians. A local Arab leader to the Peel Commission in 1937, this is what he said. He said, "There is no such country as Palestine. Palestine is a term the Zionists invented. There is no Palestine in the Bible. Our country was for centuries part of Syria." And then in 1946, Arab historian Professor Philip Hitti, this is what he said, "There is no such thing as Palestine in history. Absolutely not." And yet today, the so-called Palestinians have rewritten history and the world believes the lie. Look, friends, Jerusalem isn't even mentioned once in the Quran, but in the Bible it's mentioned over 800 times. Furthermore, the Jordanians, they occupied the West Bank from 1948 until 1967. Why was there no talk of a creation of a Palestinian state then? Why was there no uproar over Jordan occupying Palestinian land? I'll tell you why. Because it has nothing to do with borders, as we're being told by the Palestinians today, but it has everything to do with Israel's existence, and the world continues to play into the hand of Satan. Again, none of this comes as any surprise because this is exactly what God's word says in the Bible. That's what he said would happen. Read Ezekiel 35 and Obadiah verses 15 to 21. Read Zechariah 12 and 14 and Malachi chapter 1. And if there's still any doubt as to who the land belongs to, friends, read Psalm 105 verses 8 to 11. And you'll see, as our North American director Steve Herzig said, God gave the land of Israel to the Jewish people, period. So until next time, friends, this has been What in the World is Going On with the Friends of Israel Gospel Ministry.